Hello, good morning, dear students. Today we are over here with the sixth chapter of our first flight textbook, and the name of the chapter is 100 Dresses Part 2. As we had already seen the first part of the 100 Dresses, so this is the continuation of the same chapter about a little girl named Venda Petronsky and half the two other girls, that is Madeline and Peggy, used to tease her. What were the basic features of that Vanda Petronsky? That she used to live in a Boggins Heights. She was having a funny name. She did not have the name like the other children have. All these things we had already seen in the first part, and we had also seen in the first part that since last 2 or 3 days Venda Petronsky was not visiting the school, or she was not coming to the school. But none of the students of room number 13 observed that Venda Petronsky is not coming to the school or not visiting the school. But once when Madeline and Peggy were waiting for the Venda Petronsky to tease her, and when they got late for the school, they just observed that since last 2-3 days Venda Petronsky is not visiting the school. So this is the further continuation of this same chapter, and over here we will guide the reason that why Venda Petronsky did not come to the school since many days. 100 Dresses Part 2 by E.L. Bowser Easton. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. So this is the location of the class that Miss Mason, the class teacher of room number 13, was in the classroom, and the monitor means the peon or the captain came out from the principal's office and brought a note. Means he just gave a type of a letter, something which is like a letter to Miss Mason, and after getting that note, Miss Mason read that note for the several times and just studied it thoughtfully for a while. She was just thinking that why it is written like this, whatever the matter it may be, but why it is written like this in the letter. And afterwards she just clapped her hands. Attention class, everyone back to their seats. While the shuffling of the feet had stopped, the room was still and quiet. Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Venda's father that I want to read it to you. So when Miss Mason clapped her hands, why did she clap her hands? The major reason for clapping the hands was that to get her attention, to get the attention of the whole class, means of the whole room number 13 to her. And she was trying to say that everyone just get back to your seats, because if the children were doing their homework while sitting in their friend's place, they can definitely move back to their own place. So she was saying that just shuffle, move back to your respective places, means take your own seats. And when the shuffling of the feet had stopped, means when everybody was settled into the classroom and the class was totally still, means stable and quiet, Miss Mason said that she was having a letter from the Venda's father, means from the Venda Petronsky's father, and she wanted to read that letter in front of the whole class. Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. So, as number of students were sitting in the classroom, and whenever the Miss Mason just announced that she is having a letter from the Venda Petronsky's father, the moment she said that the letter was from the Venda Petronsky's father, the whole class just got tensed. Means they were just tensed that what actually the matter was. The teacher just adjusted her glass slowly. Her manner indicated that what was coming, this letter from Venda's father, was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely. Miss Mason read a brief note. Closely means listened with the attention. So the way Miss Mason was looking towards the whole class, the way she was attending the class, and the way she just adjusted her glass, all these things just have a great impact, or I should say a great importance. And from the nature or the behavior, after getting a note from Venda's father, the behavior of Miss Mason was such that everyone of the class just came to know that something is very important which is written in this letter. Dear teacher, my Venda will not come to your school anymore. Shake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler, Pollock. No more ask why funny name. So the letter was from the Venda's father, and the content was written that my Venda means his son, his daughter. Venda Petronsky will not be visiting your school, means will not be coming to your school for further studies anymore. And Jake also. Jake is the name of the Venda's younger brother. And now we have just migrated to the big city. No more holler means loud shouts. So as Venda Petronsky used to come from the Boggins Heights, we had seen, and as the children used to have a holler sound in front of her, and they were saying that no Polak means none of the Poland students will be there in the school, and do not ask that why she is not coming to the school. And the major reason that no or none of the students in the class or none of the students in the room number 13 will be having any type of funny names. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petronsky. Jan Petronsky is the name of the Venda's father, and he is just giving a message that there are plenty of funny names in the big city, as well as the children or the students of the room number 13 were saying that Venda Petronsky is only having a funny name in the whole class. He is saying that there are number of funny names in the big city as well. And yours truly, at the end he is writing yours truly, and Jan Petronsky is the name of the Venda's father. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. So Miss Mason was just trying to wipe his glasses with a soft handkerchief. There was a deep silence in the whole classroom after getting this letter and after reading the letter. Then she put up them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. So after wiping the glasses, Miss Mason just put off the glasses on her eyes, and when she was trying to say something or when she spoke, the voice of Miss Mason was very low. I am sure that none of the boys and girls in the room number 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his or her name happened to be long and familiar one. So Miss Mason is trying to convey a message to the class that none of the students of the room number 13 had purposely, means intentionally, just teased Venda Petronsky, because no one will do such type of things intentionally that they will try to hurt the feelings of some other person. So she is saying that none of the students of the room number 13 had, if someone had said something to Venda Petronsky in such a sense that she will feel that she is having a funny name or something like that, then also the purpose of saying that will be for a shorter period of time. Either it would be for a just for the kidding purpose or for a funny one, but no one would do this in a intentional manner. So she is saying that none of the students had done this intentionally, but it is very unfamiliar that why Venda's father has written such a letter. I prefer to think that was said the thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do. That is a very unfortunate thing to have happened, unfortunate and sad both. And I want you all to think about it. So Miss Mason is saying that if someone has written this, or if someone is trying to say something to us, it would be very thoughtlessness. Means the person who has written this have never thought of this such type of things in the future. And she also feels that it is very unfortunate and no one will do intentionally such type of things. So she is just telling to the class that you also just think about it. The first period was the study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. So the first lecture of the school was for the study period, once they were supposed to study in that lecture, in that period. But Madeline was trying to concentrate on her studies, but her mind was just getting distracted from the studies into that lecture, that why Vanda's father had written such type of a lecture, and she was also having a sick feeling from the bottom of her stomach. Usually we will also feel such type of things, that we will feel either we will feel a stomach pain or something like that. True, she had not enjoyed listening to the Peggy ask Wenda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. So then Madeline is thinking that either it might be possible that she did not enjoy the saying that when Peggy had asked her that how many dresses did Wenda Petronsky have in her closet, and she did not say anything at that time because as she was not having the 100 dresses to wear, but she just gave the figure 100. So she stood silently, and that was just the feeling that when Peggy asked Wenda Petronsky, she had felt bad about that. At last, Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but Maddie, had thought that they were doing wrong. She could put herself in the Wenda's shoes. So she is saying that as I and Peggy used to tease Wenda Petronsky, it was not a good thing for us, nor it was a good for anyone else. So she is saying that whatever they had done, that was totally wrong, and she was trying to put herself into the Wenda's shoes. Means she was trying to put herself in the place of Wenda, and she want to just imagine that half the person will feel bad when such type of things comes in front of them. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wenda she hadn't mean to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole at a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. So the lecture was going on. Madeline was just thinking about all these things in her mind, and she was only having one alternative, that they will just go to the Boggins Heights and they will just apologize to the Wenda Petronsky that whatever they had done, that was for the fun, and they didn't mean that they were supposed to hurt the feelings of Wenda Petronsky. And after thinking this, immediately Madeline just looked at the Peggy, but Peggy was just busy with her studies. She did not have the time to even look up. She seemed to be studying hard, while whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie had to do something. She had to find Wenda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. So Madeline is still thinking that it might be possible that Peggy also felt bad about whatever they had done. There is a question mark that does Peggy felt bad or does she did not felt bad? And she is saying that only alternative is to find once again Wenda Petronsky and to apologize in front of her. But she is thinking that is it possible that she had already left the Boggins Heights? It might be possible that she will be still there at the Boggins Heights, or she might be not there at the Boggins Heights. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Wenda she had won the contest, that they thought she was smart and 100 dresses were beautiful. So they were also having given a reason behind them that if they will go to the Boggins Heights, they will not just directly apologize in front of Wenda Petronsky, but they will just have the outline that she had just won the contest of 100 dresses and all the dresses were smart and beautiful. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with a pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see that kid has left the town or not." So as Madeline was thinking the same thing had happened, that Peggy was also thinking about the same thing. And when they left the school, means जब छुट्टी हो गई school की, at that time Peggy just said to the Madeline that let's go and see to the Boggins Heights at whether Wenda Petronsky is there or she had left the town. So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really alright. So Madeline was happy that Peggy is also having the same idea. The two girls hurried to the building up the street towards the Boggins Heights, the part of the town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, breezy, damp, and dismissal. So they just hurried to the Boggin Heights out of the building. Means they just went out of the school building and moved towards the Boggins Heights. And they were just going towards the town. They were just going to the Boggins Heights. Well, at least said Peggy gruffly, I never did call her a foreigner nor make fun of her name. I never thought that she had a sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. So Peggy is saying to the Madeline that I'm going with the face of Wanda Petronsky. She did not look like that. She will take such a strong decision, and they did not even tease her in the name of the foreigner. They did just tease her by her name and her clothes. But Peggy was saying that she did not even imagine that Wanda Petronsky is having such a grief or such a deep sense that they were making fun of her. I thought she was too dumb and gay. Look how she can draw. So Peggy is saying that from the face of the Wanda Petronsky, one can say that she was totally dumb. Means she is not having any kind of feelings, nor she is having any kind of a sense or emotion. But actually, she was just quiet in the nature. Who Wanda Petronsky? Wanda Petronsky was just quiet in the nature, and she just knew everything about whatever was going on. And the major thing was that how beautifully she can draw the 100 dresses. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they could find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her, and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please don't move away and everybody would be nice. So she is saying that Maddie was just thinking that they will not say anything to Wanda Petronsky, but they will just tell Wanda Petronsky after meeting her that she had just won the contest, and they would apologize her that whatever they had done, whatever the kind of a fun they had done with Wanda Petronsky, they were sorry for that, and that how beautiful she just took the heart of the whole school, and everybody would be fine if she come back to the school. She and Peggy could fight anybody who was not nice. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before the dark. So there was a strong relation between Peggy and Madeline that if someone would come in between the Peggy and Madeline to break their friendship, they will just have a fight with them. But they were thinking that no, Wanda Petronsky is not of such nature, and they were supposed to climb the Boggin Heights before the dark. Means before the evening time, they were supposed to climb the Boggins Heights. I think that's where the Wanda Petronsky's live, said Maddie, pointing the little white house. Whips of old grass stuck up here, and after a long pathway like a thin curtain. So, after climbing the heights up to a certain extent, they just saw a white house, and Madeline is just pointing to the house and saying that this is the only house where the Wanda Petronskys used to live. The house and its space little yard looked shabby but clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. So after seeing to the house, they just took a glance at a shabby house, means a little house, which was shabby, means it was in a poor condition because of lack of care. But no doubt it was almost clean. No doubt the house was small, but it was clean up to a certain extent. And after seeing the house, the Madeline just remembered about the Wanda's dress, means the blue color dress that she used to wear at the school. No doubt it was also cotton dress, blue color, but it was shabby and clean. There was no sign of life but about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. So there was no sign of life, means none of the people, after looking at the house, they just saw that none of the people were living in that house. No doubt Peggy had tried to knock down the door very firmly, but she did not get any kind of response. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still there was no answer. They just went to the backside of the house and they tried to knock the door, but over there as well they could not get any response. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? So amends means to show that one is sorry by doing something good. So they were just firm in their decision that the Petronskis had already left the town, and how would they apologize now to Venda Petronsky? They turned slowly and made their way back to the hill. So they just turned around with a sad face, and they were just trying to move back to their hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she has gone now. So what can we do? So Peggy is saying to the Madeline that the Petronskis had now already left the town. Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas of her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. So Peggy is saying that whenever she was asking to the Venda Petronsky about her dresses, she might be possible that she would be getting the different ideas about the dresses, and that is why she just prepared the 100 dresses. And if we did not ask her about the dress, then there was a possibility that she would not get a good ideas and she could not win the contest as well. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head. For if there were anything in it, she would not have to be so feel badly. But that night she could not get to sleep. So Maddie was just feeling very bad that she did not even have the courage to say to Peggy that they were extremely sorry for what they had done to Venda Petronsky. She thought about Venda and her faded blue dress and the little house she lived in. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made all lined up in the classroom. So at the night as well, Venda was just thinking about the faded blue colored dress that Venda Petronsky used to wear at the school, and in a small little house where she used to live. And she was just thinking about the glowing 100 pictures and the glowing 100 dresses that she had made in her drawing contest and that were hanging in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. This was the hardest thing she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. So at the night as well, Madeline was very much tired, and she just sat up. She just stood up on his bed, and she was just holding her forehead very tightly, and just thought that whatever they had done, that was totally wrong. And at last, finally, she came to a conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say anything again. So she knew that very firmly that now Venda Petronsky is never going to come and stand near by them, and she would not say anything to them. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing the Peggy's friendship. So now, when Madeline took the firm decision that if she will see any of the friends or any of the colleagues or any of the people saying something bad about anyone, she won't be silent, she won't be standing by them, and she will just listen all these things. But definitely she will take some action against them, or she will just stop that. You should not tease anyone like that. Though it may be the friendship for the Peggy, that after saying all these things, if she is in a situation that might be possible that she have to break her friendship with Peggy, then also she would say something, but she would never stand silently in front of anyone. She had no way of making things right with Venda, but from now on she would never make anybody else unhappy again. So from this, after the incident of Venda Petronsky, they just had an idea, means Madeline just had an idea that this was the first and the last time that they had made someone unhappy, but now they won't do anything like that which will make unhappy to anyone. On the Saturday, Maddie spent afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to the Venda Petronsky. So on the Saturday, Madeline just spent the afternoon with Peggy, and they just wrote a letter to the Venda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Venda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were. So it was just a friendly letter that she had won the contest, and they also told her that her dresses were very pretty. And they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. And they also mentioned in the letter that did she like her new teacher, what was the atmosphere of the new school, and was she able to adjust over there with everyone or not. They had mind to say that they were sorry, but ended up with their writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written any good friend, and signed with lots of X for love. So they just wrote a letter in a friendly way. No doubt they were trying to write a letter in such a way that they could even say they were trying to apologize to Wanda Petronsky, but they just ended up with a letter in a friendly manner, and at the end they signed with lots of love. They made a letter to the Bogginsides writing please forward on the envelope. So they just made that letter to the Bogginside, and on the envelope they just wrote please forward. 3 days passed, there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received. So number of days had passed away, and they did not receive any kind of a reply from anyone. So they were just thinking that did Wanda Petronsky receive that letter or not. Perhaps she was so hot and angry that she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. So another thought came into their mind, that might be possible that she was just too angry and she was just not happy with this school. So she might be possible that she couldn't even reply to. So you should not blame yourself. Weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease with her. Now, how many dresses you have got? So, weeks had also passed away, but they did not receive any kind of a letter or any kind of a reply from the Wanda Petronsky. So, they just, Peggy had almost on the edge that she will forget everything, but Maddie was not able to sleep at night, and she was just imagining that how they used to tease them, that how many dresses did you have and all those type of things. And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out stop, then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. So when Madeline is just imagining that if now somebody will tease her, she will just say stop, because though everybody will feel ashamed of that, then also she will say. Now it was a Christmas time and there was a snow on the ground. The Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. So as it was a Christmas time, they just had a Christmas bells and decorated their classroom. You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lived, because now I can send her medal I want to read. So she is saying that they just received a letter from the Wanda Petronsky, and they are saying that did you remember that the Wanda Petronsky had won the contest and she had just written a letter to me. I know where did she live, and now I can send this medal to her address. A class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. Dear Miss Mason, how are you in room number 13? So this is the reply of Wanda Petronsky's letter, that all the students of the class were just sitting, they were just silently thinking that what was the reply from Wanda. How are you, teacher, and how about the room number 13? Please tell the girl they keep those 100 dresses, because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. So she just said to Miss Mason that tell the girls of our class that they should keep that 100 dresses with them, because in their new house she had a different 100 dresses all lined up in her closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. So in the letter, Wanda Petronsky had written that she would gift the green colored dress with a red trimming to Peggy, and a blue colored dress to Madeline. For Christmas, I missed that school and new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronsky. So she just wrote a letter, and in that she had just mentioned that for this Christmas she just missed the students of students of class 13, and she also missed her teacher because the new teacher does not have the same qualities of the old one, and she just wished Merry Christmas to everyone. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy hold their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and the holy in the windows, so as it was a Christmas time. All the houses were decorated, and Madeline and Peggy just took that dresses very carefully to their home. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were staked, and in the window, candy peppermint sticks of shiny transparent paper was strung. So, as it was a Christmas time, number of grocery stores were open, hundred of Christmas trees were hanging, and all the things means it was a time of a festival. And number of candies and peppermint sticks were also there in the streets. The air smelled like Christmas, and lighting shining everywhere reflected different colors of the snow. So everywhere it was the time of lightning. And boy, said Peggy, this shows really likes us. It shows the she got out like the our lecture, and this is her way of saying that everything's alright and that's tight. So they were just satisfied with the lecture of Wanda Petronsky, that this was the kind of a reply that positively she had just replied to us, and it was a sign that she did not feel bad about anything and everything is all right now. I hope, she said. So said Madeline sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped, polished girl again that couldn't really make things right between them. So she is saying that I hope that everything would be fine, because might be possible that now Wanda Petronsky won't be able to see us anymore, because that she had already left the town. She went home and she pinned her drawing on over a torn place in the pink flower wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. So she just put that drawing means a dress into the bedroom with a pink colored flower wallpaper, and it was a beautiful one. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood up by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. So Madeline sat on the bed and she was just looking at the drawing. But she did not say anything, but she was just thinking that Wanda Petronsky was good for her to anyway. Tears blurred her eyes. She gazed for a long time at the picture, then hastily rubbed her eyes and studied intently. So she was just getting worried and she just cried. Tears rolled down her eyes and she was just looking through the picture hastily. But suddenly she just rubbed her eyes, she rubbed her tears and studied it to the picture intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face, the head of the drawing, but it looked like her Maddie. So she was just saying that whatever the colors that were in the drawing, that were totally perfect, and she just noticed that there was in the drawing there was a face which looked like a Maddie, but actually it was the face of a Madeline. It really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like me, her own self? Wanda was really drawn this to her. Excitedly, she ran to Peggy's. Peg said, "Let me see your picture." So when the Madeline just observed that in the drawing that she got from the Wanda Petronsky, in that drawing, in the portion of the face of Madeline was drawn, and so she just went to the Peggy and said that let me just have a look to your drawing. What's the matter? Asked Peggy. As they collected up to her room, Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. So Peggy's drawing was also just lying on the bed. She just took the drawing very carefully. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed, and the head and the face, this picture. And did you look, Peggy? So she said that as in my picture she had drawn my face, same way in your picture she had drawn your face. So she is saying that it is just you. Yes, you must have agreed, Maddie. And she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said sure 100 of them all lined up. So she was just thinking that why she used to say that Wanda Petronsky is having 100 dresses, and after observing all these things she just came to know that as number of students were there, might be possible that she had drawn the faces of all the wings, and they were just imagining that Wanda Petronsky used to say that yes, she is having 100 dresses all lined up. Thank you.